I had a promise I made a few videos ago. The next 10 people to follow our Instagram would get shout-outs. Well, here are those shout-outs. Shout out to Cole Barrett 011, Eddie Johnson 895, the Mac D 123, Andy J Lewin, excuse me, Papa Fernandez 718, Crossland _window _guy. We got Big MRC 1548, Giorgio Ferraguto, Liam Hughes 2005, Murphy Carter _42. These are the shout outs from our Instagram. It is at the Red Sox Rundown. If the Sox make a move this offseason, and we all know they will, I will have you covered on Instagram. We do all of our short form content over there. We also have game recaps after every single game. We did that over the past season. And also bonus content, some graphics, some questions. You can get in our mailbags. I ask mailbag questions over there as well. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. It's at the Red Sox Rundown. We are very close to 3,000 followers. So if you have not already, go over and follow us on Instagram. The Red Sox have been linked to slugging outfielder Kyle Tucker, and we're going to talk about that in today's edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I am your host, Jack Lauderay. The World Series is set. It will be the Blue Jays, it will be the Dodgers, and once the World Series is over, everything begins. Qualifying offers, you've got extensions, you've got free agency and trades. The winter meetings are in December. Everything's going to happen. And Kyle Tucker's going to be one of those names. And Kyle Tucker was linked to the Red Sox by one Jon Heyman. Here's what he had to say in his report. He said, the Dodgers are expected to make a play for number one free agent Kyle Tucker. No surprise there. Who'd fit nicely into the National League's best lineup. The Giants, Phillies, Red Sox, and many others could be in the mix as well. This is a good thing. This video really is why they shouldn't sign Kyle Tucker, but I do think it's a good thing that the Red Sox have been linked to basically every big name free agent, every big name trade candidate. That shows that national media pundits and people in general believe that the Red Sox are a legitimate threat to actually have a big offseason. Now, us Red Sox fans might be a little pessimistic about that, but they did show last year a willingness to both spend money with the very high AAV contract of Alex Bregman and trade away some of the farm to bring in an ace in the Garrett Crochet trade. So it's not so far out of the realm of possibility to believe that Kyle Tucker could be a Red Sox next year. Now, again, this video is why they shouldn't do that, but we can also talk about why they should. He's a good ball player. Over his last 4 years, 2022, 2023 really were, you could argue 2024 as well. Hell, you could argue 2025 as well, but 30 home runs in 2022. He had the 112 RBIs in 2023, the OPS plus of 179 in 2024, only 49 RBIs. I had to reread that a few times when I made this graphic. I said, how are you hitting 23 home runs with only 49 RBIs and OPS plus of 179? That didn't make sense to me. And then this past season with Chicago, 22 home runs, 73 RBIs, a bit of a down year, but if a down year is 22 home runs and OPS of 841, that's still really good. And Kyle Tucker is really good. He is a good ball player. He will command a big contract this offseason. However, and this is a really, really big however, I don't think it's a good idea to go after Kyle Tucker this offseason. He's the number one free agent. He will be the number one free agent. I don't necessarily believe that the free agent class this offseason is that good. He's still a good player, though. But I don't think that the Red Sox should go after him. I know it seems a little weird. Jack, why? Why do we not want to go after the number one free agent? Well, that's what today's video is all about. Before we get into those reasons, though, I want you to predict it. And then at the end of the video, I will ask you your thoughts. Will the Red Sox sign Kyle Tucker? Not would you sign Kyle Tucker? Do you think the Red Sox will sign Kyle Tucker? Y for yes if you think they will, N for no if you think they will not. You let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. All right, let's start. Why it doesn't work, okay? The obvious reason, first and foremost, is the price tag. Again, he will be the number one free agent in this class. Again, I don't think the class is that good, but he is really good. We went over the stats and all of that. He will command a high price, especially if the Dodgers are involved, because we know the Dodgers like to throw caution to the wind and just spend as much money as humanly possible. And Jeff Passan kind of laid out what he thinks a deal might look like. Here's what Mr. Passan himself had to say. He said, Tucker's best comparable might be Mookie Betts. Oh, God, bad memories. Not because of the similarities of their game, but rather the level at which they produce while maintaining minuscule strikeout rates. Very, very true. Few players are as good at any of the three facets of the game as Tucker, let alone all three. Betts is the most obvious. And he signed a 12-year, $365 million deal that started in his age 28 season. That looks like a steal nowadays. So yeah, the number is going to be big, likely in the $400 million range, which I totally agree with. I think Kyle Tucker deserves a bag. I think he's really good. I think he flourishes in all three aspects of the game. I think he is as close to a five-tool athlete as we've seen. I think Mookie Betts is a really great comparable comp. They're not the same player. They don't play the same position, but they have a lot of similar traits. So he does deserve a bag. Not from Boston, though. And the reason why is because if you're going to pay excess of $400 million, you kind of handcuff yourself in what you can do the rest of the offseason. And I'd rather go after a few. You know, I would rather re-sign Alex Bregman. And then on top of that, sign Pete Alonso. And then on top of that, you've got to bring in some sort of starter. These are all three things that could happen if you don't spend the $400 million. But if you spend the $400 million, you may be able to do like one of these things. Like, I'd rather get all three of these than just one Kyle Tucker. The Red Sox have a bunch of needs. We know this. Number 2 starting pitcher, a power bat, a little bit of help in the bullpen. You know, an upgrade to infield defense, which Kyle Tucker doesn't help. He's in your outfield. I don't want to spend all of my money on one player. I mean, look at the Mets. The Mets are a perfect example. They go and sign Juan Soto to a $700, almost $800 million deal last offseason. And they couldn't spend any money on any starting pitching. And we saw how that ended up. They brought in these projects, these like guys that have been in the bullpens that they wanted to convert to starting pitchers. And we saw how that worked out. They missed the playoffs. So it's not as comparable because you gave Soto almost $800 million. Like, this would be half that. But with Henry, we know he doesn't like to spend a lot of money. So I think the price tag, I don't think it's worth it for the Red Sox at the end of the day. Number 2, and this is something we've talked about all this entire last season. You already have a crowded outfield. Like, 5 options right now. And this isn't even including Rob Refsnyder, who's a free agent, who I would assume is going to be re-signed. That would be 6. Oh, and you've got Yostinson Garcia. That's 7. Oh, Christian Campbell maybe. That's 8. Like, there's too much. And again, like, we've talked about this ad nauseum at this point. An outfielder will be traded this offseason. Like, that's going to happen. I think it will be Jarren Duran. I think a lot of us assume it'll be Jarren Duran. An outfielder will be traded because you've got to fix the outfield logjam. Now, I know that Breslow and Cora both talked about how, it's great to have flexibility. It's great, if injuries happen. They had injuries at the end of the year, and to have that depth is really great. But, like, if everyone's healthy and there's, like, 8 mouths to feed potentially with only 3 spots, that's not going to work. So I do think an outfielder will be traded this offseason. And then if you end up signing Kyle Tucker, You're just re-exacerbating and re-extending the problem that you already had this past season. So you're hurting yourself roster construction-wise because, again, you've got 55 outfielders, it feels like, at this point. So not only are you paying him $400+ million, because if you pay him that, he will be one of your starting outfielders. What do you do with the others? Too many cooks in the kitchen. I don't think that's a great idea because we saw what happened this past year. People weren't getting enough at-bats, and they struggled. You got to fix this problem. And signing Kyle Tucker will actually only make it worse, believe it or not. Now, if they do make a trade for Kyle Tucker, you can bet your bottom dollar that we will make a video. Hell, if they sign Kyle Tucker, we'll probably go live. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't miss out. We are going up in intervals of 100. Our goal for opening day is 10,000 subscribers, and we are going to get there 100 by 100. We are 51 subscribers away from our next goal of 6,800 subscribers. 51. I know there's 51 of you that watch this video that have not subscribed. Help a brother out. Hit that subscribe button. And in return, my guarantee to you is that you're going to get daily Red Sox videos talking about the latest news, rumors, injury updates, roster news. We've been covering the coaching rumors over the past few weeks. And I'm telling you, once the World Series is over, everything's going to start to get whipped up again. So don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button right now. Last but not least is the DH problem. Because, you know, it's funny. I already know what my comments are going to say. Because I know you guys. I can read you guys like a book. I know what you're going to say. Jack, just make Kyle Tucker the DH. Keep the outfield as it is. Carry on. It's that simple, Jack. What are you talking about? This is great. Like, I can already hear that. I'm already visualizing the comments right now. Well, that sounds good, but my counter question to you is, what are you going to do with Massa? I put him in the outfield options list, but we all know he's your DH. He played like 3 games in the outfield this year. Every time he had a ball hit him, I was like having a heart attack. I was like having a panic attack. Like, oh my God. He's not an outfielder for you. He's a DH. And as much as I hate to say it, his trade value's next to nothing. Yeah, he had a good outing in the postseason for 3 games. But the Red Sox did such a terrible job at just degrading and destroying his trade value this year that I don't even know if he's going to be traded unless they completely dump him. That could happen. But then one of the other outfielders is probably going to be a DH. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. Now, again, like I said, had a good wild card series. He was probably the best hitter on the team other than Trevor Story. But injury concerns, lack of play during the regular season, it just, I don't know if he's got any value at all in a trade. I think the key thesis to this entire video is there's no place where Tucker fits. Again, I named off 8 outfield options. 8! For 4 spots if we're counting DH? Okay, what are you going to do with the other 4? You bring in Kyle Tucker, what are you going to do with the other 5? Like, there's 9 now. It doesn't make any sense. And then also, you've got way more needs than an outfielder. An outfielder is literally the last of your needs. So are we really going to pay $400+ for a position that we have already 8 options? Kyle Tucker's a hell of a ball player. He is. I'm not going to say he's not. I'm not going to say he's bad. I'm not going to say you shouldn't sign him because he's bad or anything like that. That's not true. We just have to look at the reality of the world that we live in, where the way the roster's constructed is there's just no room on the arc for him. We got too many outfielders. We got too many, quote-unquote DHs. Kyle Tucker would be great, but there's way too many needs. And there's already way too many outfielders in this roster. So at the end of the day, he's a hell of a ball player, but not for the Boston Red Sox. All right, I said I would let you get your voice in at the end of the video. If you were Craig Breslow, would you sign Kyle Tucker? This is not, do you think the Red Sox will, like we asked at the beginning of the video? This is a completely different question. If you were Craig Breslow, would you sign Kyle Tucker? S for sign if you would, P for pass if you would not. As you can tell from the entirety of this video, I am emphatically typing my P for pass, but you let me know. S for sign, P for pass, let me know in the comments. That's where we're going to end it. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch today's video. It means the absolute world that you decided to watch this. It's like the classic pilot speak. You know, there's plenty of airlines that you could have flown on, but the fact that you flew with us, it means the absolute world. Thank you so much for choosing the Red Sox Rundown. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 6,800 subscribers. We'll be back tomorrow with another video, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And when the World Series is over, we're going to be covering it from start to finish. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a rest of your day. And until next time, go Sox.